Hi, second graders. So today we're going to make one of our dinosaur illustrations. This is an illustration where your paleontologist would be thinking about what life was like in the past. What was life like for the dinosaurs? So this illustration is going to be a really fun one, and we're going to spend 2 weeks on it. 1 week drawing it really nicely, and another week coloring it really nicely. Now, since you are watching this video, you're probably doing this from home. So I'm going to give you some tips about coloring, but I do expect you to do that on your own. The drawing part is fun because since you are my at-home artists, you actually have a whole variety, a lot of options. I have videos in my account, and I've also put the links in the description. So you can click and pick between 3 different types of dinosaurs. You can pick, I think 4 actually. You can pick a Stegosaurus, you can pick a Triceratops, you can pick a T-Rex, you can pick a Plesiosaurus. So yeah, that's 4. So today I am going to start with the video with the dinosaur already drawn. What I want you to do, my friends, is pause this video once you know which one of those 4 you want to do. Look in the description and pick that video. Pause the video, watch that, draw your dinosaur so it's on a blank sheet of paper just like mine, and then come back here. Go ahead and do that right now. Again, come back here when you have your dinosaur. It can be this one or it can be a different one. Okay, are you ready to go? Do you have your dinosaur ready like mine? Great. If you're ready, then we're going to go ahead and start. Now my dinosaur looks great, but he's not anywhere. He's just standing in a blank field, and our paleontologist is thinking about what life was like for dinosaurs. And they didn't fly in outer space or stand in a field of snow. No. So we're going to start by giving him some ground to stand on. All right? So I'm going to draw a line, and it's going to go all the way across. And when it touches his feet, I'm going to jump and then do another one. And notice how all 4 of my dinosaur's feet are on the ground. I don't have the ground down here where the dinosaur would be floating. If you did that, you might want to erase it and redraw. Now, we're going to give our dinosaur some mountains and volcanoes in the background. So we're going to start with some squiggly lines for our mountains going up and down. Some of them are short, some of them are tall. You probably live where there's mountains, so go ahead and look outside and get some ideas. They might go on top of one another. See how that one is going to go down to the dinosaur. This one too is going to go down so that these ones are kind of in the background. And I want one of them to be a volcano, so I'm actually going to erase the top and I'm going to make it have a U shape. And then I think I will have it explode. So I'm going to make some raindrop shapes come out of the top. Maybe some dust. Maybe you want your volcano to have smoke coming out the top. You could do smoke with a curly Q. Or you could do, this is our volcano. That looks pretty cool. Or you could do a big cloud coming out of the volcano like that. Lots of options. I like my teardroppy kind of thing. And if you want, maybe there's some lava spewing out of it. And it would be a good idea to have a volcano. You don't have to, but this is one of the ways that fossils were formed. When dinosaurs got stuck in lava, or if they got stuck in mud. So maybe you can have some, let's put some water on the ground near our dinosaur. Maybe he's just going to drink the water, or maybe this is the water that he's going to end up sinking in. So I'm putting these little lines in front of the water to show that he's standing on the grass. All of these little lines, they look like the letter V. The letter V makes good fake grass for our dinosaur. Now do you see how I have so much space in the sky? I did that on purpose. I'm not going to fill it up. I'm not going to put clouds. I'm not even going to put a pterodactyl or a bird or anything like that because I want the sky to be blank so that you have room to write your words. So don't put a lot of stuff in the sky. Leave it blank. However, I do think we should add a palm tree. Yeah. So I'm going to have my palm tree on the side. I'm going to make a big long line that comes up and it's going to go in front of the mountains. And to make a good palm tree, I'm going to have big teardrop shapes. Okay, big teardrop shapes. Again, that's coming off the page so I can't see it. Go ahead and erase what it's in front of. You can add veins in your palm tree. Maybe you want to add some coconuts. That would be fun. And make sure the palm tree on the ground. Palm trees have trunks that have kind of lines going up and down them, almost like scales. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Okay. And now there's room for more. If you want to have a little fish in the water, or maybe you want a teeny tiny dinosaur somewhere around here, I'm going to put a bush. And you can put a bush too. What I'm going to draw is a type of bush called a fern, because to me, ferns make me think of dinosaurs. Now, ferns have a lot of branches that come out, so I'm going to do that by starting with kind of like an explosion. Okay, and then I'm going to draw zigzag lines coming off of each stem. And some of them are going to overlap. See how this one is kind of on top of that guy? That's all right. In real life, that happens to bushes all the time. Zigzag. When it hits the other zigzag, I'm just going to stop. Zigzag. Zigzag. Okay. Now I've got my fern. I've got my water. Maybe I want to add some wavy lines. I've got my dinosaur that I drew in advance. I've got my grass, my volcano, my mountains, and I've got lots of room for the words. It's very, very important you leave room for your words. And if your teacher ends up having you write your words on a separate sheet of paper, then you can put things like clouds and the sun in your project. But don't put the sun in the corner. This? No! Have you ever seen the sun in the corner of the sky? No. It doesn't do that in real life. If you want to draw the sun, go ahead and draw it in the middle of your page. Okay. All right. So, hopefully you've got a good drawing. You've got space for your words, and you're excited because the next step is coloring. So, if you want to, I would recommend pausing the video and coming back next week so you can color. Especially if you were just watching this because you were sick and you're going to be at school next week. But if you are ready to go and ready to start coloring, then some good suggestions. Number one, when you color, make sure you color evenly. We want this one actually is a color. The fun thing about dinosaurs is we don't actually know what colors they were. We don't know what patterns they had. We don't know what colors they had. So you can be as creative as you want when you color your dinosaur. It doesn't have to be green. It doesn't have to be brown. They can be any color you want. In fact, if your dinosaur is a T-Rex, those ones probably were very brightly colored and had lots of feathers. So that's really fun. So I've got a purple. I'm going to talk to you about coloring, and I'm going to color my dinosaur purple, my Stegosaurus. You should be using colored pencil because that's going to look the best for your project. What you'll want to do is make sure that you're coloring as much as you can in one direction. Go around the edges. I like to go around the edges first. And then color if you can, in one direction. Now we're doing something called careful coloring because this is a book that we want to be really proud of. So when you careful color, you don't scribble. You fill in all the space. All the space. If you get exhausted because you've been coloring for so long and you need to take a little break, you can pause and you can color somewhere else, but don't leave any white spaces. Mine is not going to look as nice as yours because you'll be coloring with very good colored pencils and I'm using a marker. Another tip is try not to have two areas that touch be the same color. What I mean by that is if you decide to color your dinosaur green, the grass should not be the same shade of green because then you won't see your dinosaur anymore. If you decide to make your mountains brown, maybe each mountain is a slightly different brown, but definitely don't have a brown dinosaur because then we won't see it anymore. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop there because I've got one more important step to tell you. And that is when you are done, you need to outline your drawing, hopefully with a black marker. Outlining your drawing will make it pop and show up when you're reading the book. So I'm going to write these suggestions on the board so that you can pause and look at them as you're coloring. Number 1, careful coloring. Careful coloring means no white spots, and you're going to stay in your line. Ta-da! Now, number 2, use different colors when areas touch. Remember, we've got our purple dinosaur, so the mountains can't be purple and the grass can't be purple. Number 3, outline in black marker when you finish. Those are all very important tips. And if you follow these tips and you follow this video, I know you're going to have a great illustration for your project.